David, tell me a little bit more about XRP. Make the case for it, because there are a bunch of different cryptocurrencies out there. You know, Bitcoin kind of is decentralized. You know, you don't want a centralized bank involved. Ethereum allows you to program decentralized applications. Make the case for XRP. What is its benefit and purpose?
Well, I would say there's kind of two aspects to that. So one of them is like, what is Ripple doing with XRP? And the other one is like, what is everybody else in the world doing with XRP? From Ripple's point of view, XRP has the properties to be a sort of intermediary or settlement asset because it's fast, it is cheap, and it's cheap to move. So what I mean by a settlement asset is when you pulled out that 50-pound note, and we pointed out like you can't move the 50-pound note to Mars in 50 milliseconds. XRP you can move around the world in just a couple of seconds. It's much faster than Bitcoin or Ethereum.
You would need a very fast rocket ship to get there in that time.
So one example of a use case that Qualix is using right now is remittances between the United States and Mexico. So rather than having to move that money the conventional way, which takes several days and is very expensive, they just buy XRP at the moment they need it, and a few seconds later they sell that XRP for Mexican pesos. So what you have is you have a remittance pipeline that sources the liquidity on demand, and you're not exposed to the volatility of cryptocurrencies because XRP is so fast you hold it for a minute or two. That's less volatility than the peso over 2 or 3 days. And it's 40 to 60% cheaper. So we're pursuing those kind of intermediate, like if we're going to have hundreds of thousands of assets, we can't have millions of asset pairs with deep liquidity. Like you can't take any one of those 100,000 assets and have lots of liquidity to every single other one of those 100,000 assets. There's just too many of them. So our strategy is to position XRP as sort of the intermediary asset, the sort of the liquidity source. As far as what other people are doing, the XRP ledger has very low fees, very high throughput, and very high speeds. And it also has a decentralized exchange built in, so it can host other assets. So other people are experimenting with things like micropayments use cases, like eliminating advertisements where you pay for content instead, those kinds of things.